Hello, Sarah. Good morning. This is Ali Imran, and I am going to present my learn out session as a video. Uh, though I have, uh, though I have already present my learn out as a presentation. Now this is another task to make a video of my learn out. So, okay, basically, learn out is suppose I am expertise in any subject, so I have to share my experience, share my experience with other guys. This is basically learn out session. So, my learn out session was photography because I love photography. I am a photographer basically, so I love to do this job. So I try to learn all of our friends about photography and the basic editing. So okay, what is photography? Photography is basically a Greek word which means drawing the light. Which means drawing the light. Uh, in the year of 1826, a French inventor Joseph Nicephore was invent photography first. From then now the photography is very popular for all of us. Second is history of camera is also very history of camera is uh, first of all, in the year of 1826, the camera was like a bus. So it was very hard to move from one place to other place. But now the camera is very handy. We can kept it in our pocket. Basically, the concept of camera is is a box. Uh, the camera is a box with a small hole that allow light enter the project and invented image onto possible wall. Uh, so the invention, uh, the technology become so easy for us. Uh, can now camera we can kept in a pocket. What was impossible that time. So my next part is part of camera. Sorry. Uh, you can also see my presentation also where I have described about the parts of camera. There are so many parts of in now digital camera. Now the digital cameras, all the digital cameras almost same. They have similar feature. If you see the front side, there is a flashlight for take photo in in dark mode. There is a dial mode, then main dial, shutter button for click the photos, flash button if you want that I want to use the flash, so you can off the flash button. Then the main things is lens, then lens focus mode. So if you want that uh, I will focus the photo with manually. I mean, I will choose the focus. Then you can switch from here. Or if you want that, no, I will focus auto, then you can switch is auto. Then a device will take the subject auto. Then lens release button, there are so many lens on a camera, so you can change with this button. And the back side, there is nothing more. In the back side there is a big display where you can see what you are changing, what is your options. And the viewfinder would be say as the eye of the camera. You will be see from the viewfinder what you want to take the photos, what is your composition, what is your subject object, you can see from the viewfinder. Then the power switch button is basically for power off and on. And the cross keys is for to change the photos in display, to delete the photos. If you want any other options, then you can choose or change from this cross button. And then the composition of photos. Composition of photos is basically in a single word, composition of photos means what you want to show in your photos. This is composition. So if you want to show only one things, that will be your composition. You will delete the other things, the unnecessary things from your photos. This is composition of photos. Uh, uh, Balance the photo. Balance photo means the color, choosing the right lens. If you want to take a portrait, then obviously you should choose a lens which is a lower aperture value. Then it will be get higher light and focus only on your subject. If you want to take a landscape photo, then you need to take a um, higher aperture value uh, lens, which will get low light and make a big photos and big frame like uh, that. And the camera mode. The next is the camera mode. Camera mode is the which I have already shown in the camera parts. There is a mode dial. Mode dial. There are so many options. How you want to take the photos. Okay, so there is option automatic. If you don't have any knowledge about the camera, you can set the mode as automatic. Then the device will function with the photos, the about the scenery, what will be the ISO, what will be the shutter speed, and what will be the aperture value. Camera device will be set this automatically and make a picture for you. And second is portrait. When we go to take a portrait photo is basically the subject is so close to the camera, so we don't need a big lens. We should take a small lens with a small aperture value, which will take more lights to just click on the subject. So this is aperture. Aperture value is this is sorry. This is portrait photo. Then the macro. When you want to take insects over the flower, or when you want to take a very small subject, then you should take the macro mode. Then the landscape for big photos, like if you want to take a photos of a city, if you want to take a photos of a big river. uh, Simple word, if you want to take a very big frame, then you should take the landscape. A sports mode is basically you are capturing some fast moving object, very fast moving object, then you should take the sports mode. Then the night portrait is basically a very hard topic uh, in photography. Basically low light photography is so hard. So if you don't have this knowledge about the low light photography, but you have to do, then you can choose the night photography, night portrait. Then your device will choose the uh, function, and your device will choose the settings. Then you can get a good photos. On the other side, this side is known as advanced mode. First of all, program means all the function will be manually set by you. uh, when you see some object and subject, then you will choose what will be the shutter speed, what will be the ISO, and what will be the um, aperture value for me for these photos. This is a program. And shutter priority and aperture priority both are almost same. Shutter priority means uh, aperture value and ISO value will be set by device, but you will just set the shutter speed, how fast the shutter will take the photos. And aperture is also same. Device will set the shutter, and ISO just you will take the aperture value. Manual exposure. Manual is totally you will manage manually. And the auto depth of field and the flash of basically when you are taking photos in daylight, so you don't need flash, so you will just off this flash mode. So I'm going to my next slide, and this is exposure. Exposure is the main three components of digital camera. Basically, these three topic is the most important for taking a good photos. Uh, if you know these three things, then you can take a good photos from any of camera. Uh, Also now there is many options in mobile phone camera, smartphone camera. We can see we can change the ISO, aperture, shutter speed as we need. But in digital camera, if you want to take the photos in manually, you have to know what is these three things and how these three things affect on a photos. So first is aperture. Aperture value, you can see aperture value. When aperture value is small, so that means the lens will open a very small. So that's mean the light will come in your lens in a very small value, but then you will get a big photos. As I have said earlier, when you want to take a big frame, like you want to take a photos of a city from top of any hill or something, then obviously you should take a small aperture. That means small aperture means a small hole. So small hole will come a low light and you will get the big frame photos. On the opposite side, you can see the large aperture. Large aperture means the lens will open fully. Okay. When the lens will open fully, then light will come heavily, so you will get a specific photos. So you can see when we set the aperture very large, then only subject is focused and the backside is not focused. So this is the example of portrait photo. If you want to take a portrait photo, then obviously you should take a large aperture. Large aperture. When you took a large aperture, you will get a sharp and clear photos of subject. And the second thing is shutter. Shutter speed means how fast of your smartphone or digital camera's shutter will on or off. Suppose you are going to take a slow moving object, then you can take the shutter on a simple mode. But when you are going to take a fast moving object, say, suppose you got a chance to take photography of a car racing, uh, so the car are moving so fast. So if you take your shutter speed one or two, and the shutter will be closed and open very slowly, that time you miss the car. So that time you need a very fast shutter speed to take the photos. This is the example, and shutter speed works with this. ISO is basically is image sensitivity. Basically, if you take the photos in low light, suppose if you are taking the photos in late afternoon, already the sun is set, so there is so low light. So if you take sorry, so that time you need a high sensitivity of photos. So that time you need to raise your ISO value, then you will get a very clear and sharp image. And if you are taking a photos in very good light, so that time you don't need to raise your uh, ISO. That time your ISO will be low because there is enough light and enough uh, good situation for your photos. So that time you don't need to um, low the ISO value. So this is all for taking a good photos. How you can take a good photos, how you will compose your photo, what is exposure, and now we are going to learn about some photo editing tools. Basically, there are so many photo editing tools in the market. Uh, Adobe, Adobe is the leader of of this kind of software. So I am also use a Adobe product. It's called Lightroom. Lightroom is basically a photo editing tool which is very convenient, very convenient. Just you can just obviously you have to buy this software. Otherwise, you can use use a free software also. Uh, though you buy or you get free, both are almost similar, but obviously not similar. If you got a paid software, obviously you will get more facilities from this software. So basically, when I was a photographer, when on my home country, that time I used a paid software, but now I don't know. Now I am not continuing my this job, so I am using a free software. Free software is basically uh, just you take a photos as import your photo in the from gallery, then you will get so many options in the right, that what color you want to add, what color you want to remove. You can add a color to see how is your picture now looking, everything. So this is very easy software. You can suppose when you composed your photo, some of the object which you don't need but it's come on your photo, you can edit them, you can make crop of and edit this object. So this tool will help you to make the photo more beautiful, more convenient. When you complete your editing, then you can export the photos. Export photos means the photo editing is done. That's all about my presentation, about my master session presentation. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much.